Number 1. The structural rule that distinguishes yes no from the locative sentence is that they follow the structure of auxiliary verb, subject, verb, and auxiliary verb such as do, have, or is are placed before the subject. E.g., for example, in the sentence "Are you ready?" the auxiliary verb "are" is placed in front, followed by the subject "you", and the one of voice is included at the end so that the listener understands that he is asking a question, not a statement. Number 2. The auxiliary verb "to" is needed when the main verb is a lexical verb such as like, eat, or play. For example, a declarative statement "Do you like chocolate?" When the auxiliary verb "do" is added before the subject, the insertion of "do" allows the sentence to follow the correct syntaxis structure from the question. Number 3. The structure pattern for W white question is W word plus auxiliary verb plus subject main verb. The W word is placed at the beginning of the question, followed by the auxiliary verb, then the subject, and finally the main verb. For example, where is she going? Follows the structure W wait word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb. Where is the W wait word is the auxiliary verb. She is the subject and going is the main verb. This is different from the declarative sentence and yes no question where the subject usually precedes the verb. And number 4, W white does not require an auxiliary verb when the WH word replaces the subject. For example, in welcome to the party, wo is the WH word and places the subject since wo is the subject of the sentence. It does not need auxiliary verb. Similarly, in what causes the problem, what is the subject, so an auxiliary verb is not needed. And number 5, the syntax of indirect question envelopes answer in word order and structure compared to direct question. While direct question asks for specific information and typically use the auxiliary verb subject inversion such as what is your name. Indirect question report or embed the inquiry inquired within a longer sentence. And indirect question, there is typically no inversion of the subject and verb. For instance, in direct question, where is he going? Indirect question becomes, can you tell me where he is going? Here the subject he comes before the verb is enduring to standard. The sentence structure. This is one of the key characteristics of indirect question. Unlike direct questions, there is no inversion, even when auxiliary verb or modal verbs are used in the original question. Number 6. Indirect questions do not end with a question, mere because they are embedded within a statement or another question. Rather than functioning as direct inquiries, grammatically the sentence as a whole is declarative. Even though it contains a clause that expresses a question, since indirect question follows statement order and are treated as part of a larger stance. They use a proof instead of a question mark. Number 7. Modal verbs influence question structure by taking the auxiliary position and moving before the subject. In yes, no questions, the modal verb directly precedes the subject, such as in catch, see, swim. In WH question, the modal verb appears after the W word and before the subject, as in what should we do. The presence of modal verb eliminates the need for additional auxiliaries like do while still maintaining subject auxiliary inversion. Number 8. Inversion plays a crucial role by reversing the normal subject verb order placing the auxiliary or modal verb before the subject. This structural change signals that the sentence is a question rather than a statement. Is spoken English, raising intonation at the end of the sentence reinforce this function by audibly indicating that a response is expected together. Reinforcement and intonation help listeners recognize interrogative sentence clearly. And critical thinking question: how might misunderstanding the rules of question formation affect a learner's communication, and what strategies could teachers use to address this? uh, Misunderstanding rules such as information inversion or to support can cause learners to produce sentences that sounds natural or confusing, which may hinder effective communication. Errors like incorrect word order can make questions unclear or be misinterpreted as statement. Teachers can address the challenge through explicit grammar instruction, constructive example between statement and question, guided speaking practice, and frequent corrective feedback to reinforce correct structures. Number 10. How do syntaxes differ between direct and indirect question reflect politeness and social interaction in English? The syntax is different reflect levels of politeness and social awareness in communication. Indirect question use declarative word order and introductory Paris to sound more polite, less demanding, and more respectful, especially in formal or hierarchical contexts. The structure allows the speaker to soften requests and how consideration or social norms, relations, and interpersonal distance in English interaction.